The sun beat down on the African savannah, casting long shadows and creating a mirage of shimmering heat waves. The vast expanse of golden grasslands stretched out endlessly, dotted with acacia trees and the occasional watering hole. This was a land of extremes, where survival was a daily battle against the elements. The air shimmered with heat, distorting the horizon and making the distant figures appear like ghosts. This was Baraka's kingdom. He was king here, ruling with an authority that was both respected and feared by all who roamed these lands. Baraka was a magnificent lion, his presence commanding and his stature imposing. His eyes, a piercing amber, held the wisdom of countless battles and the knowledge of the savannah's secrets. His mane was a golden crown, a symbol of his dominance and strength. It flowed around his neck like a regal cloak, catching the sunlight and glowing with an almost ethereal light. His roar echoed across the plains, a powerful declaration of his reign. It was a sound that sent shivers down the spines of all who heard it, a reminder of his unchallenged supremacy. Baraka was a powerful hunter, his movements graceful yet deadly. He stalked his prey with a patience born of experience, each step calculated and precise. He led his pride with strength and wisdom, guiding them through the challenges of the savannah. He kept them safe from rival lions and other predators, always vigilant and ready to defend his family. He taught them to hunt, passing on the skills that had been taught to him by his own father. The cubs watched him with wide eyes, eager to learn and emulate their powerful leader. He was a fearsome predator, his prowess in the hunt unmatched. His ability to bring down even the largest of prey ensured the survival of his pride. But Baraka also had a secret. Beneath his fierce exterior and powerful frame there lay a gentle heart. He was not just a warrior, but a protector and a caretaker. A gentle heart beat within his powerful chest, a heart that cared deeply for his pride and the land he ruled. He was a guardian, not just of his family, but of the entire savannah. One day Baraka was on patrol, his keen eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. The savannah was his home, and he knew every inch of it like the back of his paw. He walked with his head held high, a symbol of his confidence and authority. Each step he took was a reminder of his dominance over this vast and wild land. His keen eyes scanned the grasslands, ever watchful for any threats to his pride. He was always alert, always ready to defend his territory. He was alert for any sign of danger, his senses finely tuned to the rhythms of the savannah. He could sense the approach of a rival or the presence of prey from miles away. He was protector to his pride and to the land, a guardian of the delicate balance that sustained all life here. Baraka was not just a king, he was the heart and soul of the savannah. The wind shifted. Baraka paused. The savannah, usually a symphony of sounds, fell eerily silent. Baraka, a majestic lion with a golden mane, stood still, his senses heightened. The rustling of the tall grass, the distant calls of birds, and the hum of insects all seemed to fade into the background. He could feel the change in the air, a subtle shift that signaled something was amiss. A faint sound reached his ears. It was almost imperceptible, a mere whisper carried by the wind. Baraka's ears pricked up, straining to catch the elusive noise. His heart began to race, a primal instinct urging him to investigate. The sound was unlike anything he had heard before, a mix of desperation and pain. It was a whimper, soft and full of pain. Baraka's ears twitched. He had heard the cries of many animals in distress, but this was different. It tugged at something deep within him, a sense of empathy that was rare for a predator. The whimper was faint, but it was enough to stir his curiosity and concern. He turned his head, listening intently. The sound came again, a little louder this time. Baraka's eyes scanned the horizon, searching for the source. The vast expanse of the savannah stretched out before him, but his focus was on the dense bushes nearby. The sound seemed to be coming from there. It was coming from the bushes nearby. Baraka approached cautiously. Each step was deliberate, his muscles tensed and ready for anything. The tall grass brushed against his legs as he moved, and the scent of the earth filled his nostrils. He was a master of stealth, his movements almost imperceptible. He moved silently through the tall grass. His golden coat blended seamlessly with the surroundings, making him nearly invisible. Baraka's eyes were fixed on the bushes, his ears tuned to the faint whimpering. He knew he had to be careful. The savannah was full of surprises, and not all of them were pleasant. His senses were on high alert. Every rustle, every shadow was scrutinized. Baraka's instincts were finely honed, a result of years of survival in the wild. He was prepared for anything, but what he found next was something he had not anticipated. He parted the leaves with his nose. The bushes were thick, and it took some effort to see through them. As he pushed aside the foliage, the source of the whimpering came into view. It was a sight that made him pause. There, lying helpless, was a young gazelle. It was injured. The poor creature's leg was twisted at an unnatural angle, and its eyes were wide with fear. Baraka could see the pain etched on its face, and for a moment he felt a pang of sorrow. The gazelle saw Baraka and trembled. Its body shook with fear, and it let out another pitiful whimper. Baraka stood still, his eyes locked on the young gazelle. He could sense its terror, and it stirred something within him. It tried to rise, but its leg buckled beneath it. It was trapped. The gazelle's attempts to stand were futile, and it collapsed back onto the ground. Baraka watched, his mind racing. He knew he could easily end the creature's suffering, but something held him back. Baraka looked down at the helpless creature. His eyes softened as he took in the sight. The gazelle was so vulnerable, so fragile. It was a stark contrast to the fierce predator he was known to be. In that moment, he felt a connection to the young gazelle, a shared understanding of the harsh realities of life in the wild. He felt no urge to attack. The usual predatory instincts were absent. Instead, he felt a strange sense of calm. Baraka knew that the gazelle posed no threat to him, and he had no desire to harm it. The savannah was a place of survival, but it was also a place of unexpected moments of compassion. Instead, a wave of pity washed over him. He stood there contemplating his next move. The wind rustled the leaves around them, carrying with it the scent of the wild. Baraka knew that he had a choice to make. In the vast expanse of the savannah, where life and death were constant companions, he chose to show mercy. Baraka remembered a time long ago, a time when the world seemed vast and full of unknowns. He was just a cub then, full of energy and curiosity, exploring the world with innocent eyes. One day, his curiosity led him too far from his mother. He had wandered away, chasing a butterfly through the tall grass. As the sun began to set, he realized he was lost. The once familiar landscape now seemed alien and intimidating. Panic set in when he saw a pair of glowing eyes in the distance. A hungry hyena had spotted him and was slowly closing in. Baraka was helpless and afraid, his small body trembling. Just when he thought it was the end, a powerful roar echoed through the savannah. His father appeared, majestic and fierce. With a display of sheer strength and bravery, his father chased the hyena away, protecting his young cub. Baraka's father had saved him that day, teaching him the importance of courage and the bond of family. He had shown him mercy and strength, qualities that Baraka would carry with him throughout his life. Now, as Baraka looked at the gazelle standing before him, he felt a deep kinship. He understood its fear, its vulnerability. He knew he could not leave it to die. The lessons from his past echoed in his mind, guiding his actions. Baraka turned away, choosing compassion over instinct, just as his father had shown him. Baraka lowered his head. He gently nudged the gazelle with his nose. The gazelle flinched, expecting a fatal blow, but Baraka was gentle. He licked the gazelle's wounds. His rough tongue surprisingly soothed its pain. The gazelle looked at Baraka in wonder. It had never known a predator to be so kind. Baraka knew he couldn't leave the gazelle alone. It would be easy prey. He had to get help. He had to get it back to his pride. Baraka let out a soft rumble. It was a call not of aggression but of concern. He watched as the gazelle struggled to stand. He gently nudged it again, encouraging it to follow. Slowly, carefully, Baraka guided the gazelle through the savannah. He led it towards a watering hole. He knew the healing waters would help. The gazelle, trusting Baraka now, limped alongside him. Section 6. Whispers on the savannah. News of Baraka's actions spread like wildfire. Animals whispered in hushed tones. They had never seen such compassion from a predator. Some were afraid, some were confused, but most were amazed. Baraka, the mighty lion, had shown mercy. He had shown that even the strongest creatures could be kind. He had challenged the laws of nature. He had shown that there was another way. Section 7. A bond of trust. Baraka's pride arrived at the watering hole. They had heard his call. They were surprised to see the gazelle, but they trusted their leader. They knew he had a reason. Together they protected the gazelle as it drank. They watched over it as it rested. A bond of trust formed between the predator and the prey. It was a bond built on compassion and understanding. Section 8. The true meaning of strength. The gazelle healed quickly under Baraka's care. Soon it was strong enough to return to its herd. Baraka watched it go with a sense of pride. He had saved a life that day. He had shown his pride the true meaning of strength. Baraka's act of kindness resonated across the savannah. It was a reminder that compassion could exist even in the harshest of environments. It was a lesson that would stay with his pride forever. Section 9. A legacy of compassion. Baraka continued to rule the savannah with wisdom and strength, but from that day on he was known as Baraka the Kind. He had shown that true power lay not in dominance but in empathy. He had proven that even a lion could have a heart of gold. And so the legend of Baraka spread throughout the land. It became a tale whispered from generation to generation, a reminder that compassion is the greatest strength of all.